today's day and age, आज कलयुग में जो अगर सुपर हीरो बन गया वो ऐसे ही बनेगा.
Yeah.
What's up, guys? Because YouTube. My name is Ahmed and this is Snehit Gowda. And if you've seen our previous video about Zack Snyder's Justice League, you recognize him already. Alright, Snehit Gowda. Tell me your reaction to The Boys.
Yeah, The Boys. Yeah. So I've always been a fan of dark retellings of the superhero story. I mean, I think it all started with Nolan's Dark Knight trilogy, and I'm a huge Dark Knight trilogy fan. I mean, I think I've seen Batman Begins about 7 to 8 times. Dark Knight at least 18 to 19 times, and the last one about at least 6 times. And
Big fan.
Evidently. I think then Zack Snyder took that legacy forward with Snyderverse and the recent masterpiece Justice League. Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Yes, you have to be very clear on which.
The other one was a sacrilege.
Yeah.
I think we've talked enough about the abomination that
You can go check out the video.
Justice League is.
Yeah, you can check out that video. It's in the description down below.
Yep. So, and when The Boys came out, I think it took everything that these people had done and just knocked it out of the park,
Like
man.
just put it on steroids.
Yeah, like it's on acid. Like everything is
Yeah.
just heightened.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you how I got super into the series. All right. So for me, there is this thing. I just watch the pilot.
Yeah.
If the pilot works for me, I'm watching more episodes.
Otherwise,
I'm like, ठीक है, कुछ और देखते हैं. So I'm like that. And that first scene where Huey is standing in a footpath and he's just talking to his girlfriend, and Adrian just
Rex her.
bombards through her, and all he's left with are those hands.
That
And
graphic.
my God, dude! Oh my God! And I'm like, isn't that what will happen if superheroes existed?
Yeah,
Like in real life, wouldn't that be the effect?
the casualties.
Yeah.
Day-to-day casualties.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh my God, this is so fucking realistic.
Yeah.
And this show has balls.
Like,
You can't see that about a lot of shows, all right? They're manicured and whatnot.
they're very cautious.
Yeah, and like the show had something else, and then you watch that scene where that invisible superhero.
Yeah.
And these guys put a bomb up his ass in the air. It's just,
Okay. Just a heads up. This video is going to be NS, not safe for work environment.
Yeah.
Because The Boys is not safe for anyone's environment.
Yeah, it's not something you sit and watch with your family.
Yeah, no.
And this is going to be full of spoilers.
Yeah.
Like full.
So, moving on from here, there are going to be spoilers and spoilers and spoilers.
Yeah, because I don't think we can talk about
You can't
any
talk
of these shows without discussing spoilers.
The fact that they reach a point where they have to put a bomb up his butthole, right?
Yeah, and just oh my God.
Like, I mean, I like that character arc where Huey goes from this guy who doesn't know what to do when his girlfriend died to the point where he actually blows up that dude.
Yeah.
Because he felt threatened by it.
Yeah, bro, that is what it does, dude. Like, existence of superheroes would do that to humans. Existence of superheroes would make normal people villains.
Yeah.
Because they feel helpless. Like, how can you fight a guy who was basically Homelander, who's God, like, who can fly and, like, who can, like, laser the shit out of you? Like, bro, imagine, like, if Tarantino ever made a superhero film.
Yeah, it would look something like The Boys.
Probably. Like, and I've always been a huge Tarantino fan.
Yeah.
You know, there is something very...
Yeah, I remember, I think I shared this on my Instagram as well.
Hmm.
It was a very famous Tarantino quote.
Ah,
I think you saw this.
yeah, I remember. Go on, see it.
Yeah, so it's like, yeah, Kill Bill has blood in it,
Yeah,
but it's a Tarantino film.
yeah,
And then he goes on to say, it's like going to a Metallica concert and asking them to turn the music down.
yeah.
That doesn't happen.
Yeah, that doesn't happen.
And
The-
that is basically what the boys is as well. Like you don't start watching the boys and not expect violence.
Yeah, yeah.
Because-
And there's something very gratifying about, I don't know, watching these people get their hands dirty.
Yeah,
Because superheroes have always been ideals.
yeah.
And the world we live in, I
Perfect.
yeah, so like Nietzsche said, God is dead.
Yeah.
I think some philosopher has to take up the mantle and say superheroes are dead, ideals are dead.
Yeah.
Now we have Homelander.
Yeah, like basically that's what I think the boys does for us in this super saturated
Yeah,
world where the whole idea is okay, itna hai.
yeah.
But then after that, right? How do you deal with it?
Yeah. I think Boys was the remedy to our superhero fatigue.
Yeah, honestly,
Yeah.
like the number of feel good Marvel films that in the last 10 years that we've seen, it reached a point where you're like, ab kya?
Yeah.
Like, what other stories can Marvel tell you now?
Yeah.
Right?
See, because there's only so much
Yeah.
heroism you can show.
Yeah.
Like it can only get as good as Captain America. Like it can't get better than him.
Or as
Like morally.
yeah, morally as strong as Captain America, or as smart as Tony Stark.
Yeah, and as
or-
strong as
or
Hulk,
as-
Hulk or Thor.
Or Hulk or Thor.
Yeah.
Or as strong as Hulk or as mythical as Thor.
Yeah, he's basically from the Viking mythology.
Yeah. So that is only how far you can go.
Yeah, now you gotta go to the other side of the spectrum.
Like where you're talking about
Yeah.
what if the powers go wrong?
Yeah,
And it's not even a what if at this point.
yeah,
Right? It's not even like what if their powers go wrong. Like their powers will go wrong at some point.
it will. And
Like I remember watching Justice League, the animated series,
okay.
and Batman has this point where he's like, I have contingencies for each one of the Justice League members.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
You
Now I
know that
remember.
scene?
Yeah,
And Superman asks him, so what is your contingency?
Yeah.
Like, it's called the Justice League. I mean, yeah, that's it.
like I need 6 people to hold me back, you son of a.
Yeah. Like, that is the level of confidence Batman has, and
Yeah.
that is the level of confidence he inspires, honestly. But let's talk about why it works in the boys' universe.
Yeah,
Like, like Batman is just referring to the part where if they go wrong.
yeah.
In the boys, they have gone wrong.
Yeah, I mean, in the comics, it all does go wrong. No,
Yeah.
Injustice got Among
Yeah.
Us. I think if Injustice got some, like boys
Yeah.
can be called Injustice got Among Us.
Yeah, like basically it is injustice.
Yeah,
for the
like it can be like a subtitle, boys. Like if you like Injustice got Among Us,
God, someone.
because boys doesn't say anything, alright. Like when I first heard about the show and it said boys, I'm like, what?
What?
Like, who are these boys? Like, what is this? What are you, the Backstreet Boys? Or like, what is this? Some boy band?
Like what?
Yeah,
And then you watch the show and you're
Yeah.
like, oh, that's
bro. First, I saw the Instagram page.
yeah.
The Instagram page had these beautiful memes about like they had small clippings of Homelander doing and wrecking shit and
Yeah.
like all that, and then it says, "Oh, boys, it's about superheroes."
Yeah.
It's about all these other things, not just some random guys hanging out and doing shit. What was the one thing in boys that makes it a show that is not among the other shows? Like, what makes it stand apart?
The fact that it's deeply grounded. Like it's grounded in the sense that okay, these are superpowered beings. But then, if those superpowered beings existed in our universe, in the world that we live in currently, that is what it would look like. Like the PR campaigns and the ideas and the corporate America behind it.
Yeah.
That is basically what it would look like.
Yeah.
Like you have this image of Homelander and Queen Maeve and of the other 7 superheroes and everybody else trying to get into that small space.
Speaking of Homelander and Queen Maeve, that scene on the aeroplane, man.
Oh,
Man, bro, that is probably the most realistic superhero rescue scene ever, man. Like I can't live the plane, dude. Like you know, like even for someone as strong as Superman, like lifting the plane is not possible in like physically.
Yeah.
Alright, like even if you're strong, all that weight on one person, like you just go through the roof.
Yeah.
Like they'll just collapse. You can't lift it.
Yeah, like at most you can guide the plane
Yeah.
to a safe line, but you can't save that many people, right?
He's like he just shrugs it off. Like, come, we'll chill. We'll do something else.
We'll do something.
These people are doomed.
It's not going to.
Yeah, these people are doomed. It's like humanity is doomed. Like let's follow nihilism.
That comes back to bite him in the second season.
Yeah. And the whole PR thing, dude.
Like the the entire PR campaign and the whole idea behind like how they build their image.
Yeah.
Like I mean, look at Stormfront for example.
Yeah.
Like the whole season, everybody adores her until that bombshell at the end.
Yeah. The whole Nazi thing.
Yeah.
Bro, see, like any American TV show, no?
Yeah.
Like you do whatever you want. You kill your mother, you kill your father, you do whatever.
Yeah.
You're a Nazi.
Dead.
Even in the show as morally, I don't know, ambiguous as the boys, like you're a Nazi, done. Like we're not gonna like go through your mindset why you were a Nazi.
No. Like even like that's coming from somebody that is okay with Homelander.
Yeah.
They're like, you're Homelander, you're fine. Okay, but you're Nazi, you're screwed.
Yeah, who's your favorite character in the series?
Billy the Butcher.
Billy the Butcher.
Like, I mean, it's less about the character, it's more about how Carl Urban plays him and the fact that his performance is far superior. Like, you know he's a bully.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then he meets Homelander.
Yeah. Bro, for me the favorite moment was when Bully the Butcher.
Bully the Butcher.
God damn it. Freudian slip. Bully the Butcher. Okay, so Billy the Butcher meets his father.
Yeah.
And his father is a bully.
Yeah.
Alright. And he says, I've brought you up in such a manner that you're always the toughest son of a bitch in the room.
Yeah.
And you've lasted this long only because I raised you that way. And you kind of get to see that where he's coming from.
Yeah.
Like the whole philosophy of we are victims of victims in like there is no perpetrator as such.
Okay, your favorite character?
Anyone who knows me knows this.
Yeah.
It's on my Tinder profile, Bumble profile. It's Homelander.
Women on Tinder and Bumble, please don't begin. Please don't get scared.
It's Homelander. So there is this question on Bumble like, would you not stop talking about Homelander?
anyone matching with him, you know, now you know why.
Yeah, like we are doing this whole segment of videos just to talk about Homelander.
The entire reason we made this video is so that we could bring up
Homelander and talk about it. All this was just foreplay. So I love Homelander, man, because I feel, as you told before, I feel Homelander is the most realistic portrayal of a superhero ideal. See, to quote Lex Luthor, the hater of superheroes, from Batman v Superman, if God can be all merciful, he's not all powerful. If he's all powerful, he can't be merciful. It doesn't go both ways. And that line has got deep philosophy to it.
Yeah.
Any man who's too powerful, see, the desire of wanting to be good
Yeah.
comes from the desire, I don't know, like wanting to be liked, and a lot of other things, not feeling left out, not being hated.
Yeah.
But when you're that powerful,
Yeah.
you don't have to fear all that.
Yeah.
And Homelander is just that. And I feel like Homelander is the hero of our age.
Yeah.
Uh,
Like he is what would happen if someone from our age group, like not our age group, our age,
Yeah,
came
today's day and age.
today's day and age, आज कलयुग में जो अगर
कलयुग।
सुपर हीरो बने वो ऐसे ही बनेगा.
Yeah, like how Batman was the hero of 50s, 60s,
Yeah.
where these people are going through tragedies, World War, and all that. And they are trying to be better than themselves. I think we've stopped being better than them ourselves. And
Yes.
we're just going down the rabbit hole of, I don't know,
Self-centered egoism.
yeah, consumerism and narcissism. And I think
I will look at the entire second season. All Homelander wants is his ratings to be the best.
yeah. Yeah, and like Homelander is the personification of psychotic narcissism and everything else. And also that Oedipus complex, man. But for me, one of the most beautiful scenes and one that really stayed with me in season 1 was when Homelander's girlfriend, not girlfriend exactly, the woman who Homelander, who keeps Homelander under control,
Yeah.
who can control Homelander,
Yeah.
is feeding the baby and
And then he X-ray visions the hell out of it.
yeah, and he just looks at that baby with so much disgust, with so much jealousy.
Yeah. Like I wish I was that baby right now.
Yeah, man, like, see, that is some next level storytelling right there.
Yeah, that's why I was googling the character's name. Stillwell.
Still, I don't know, very forgettable.
Very forgettable.
Yeah, like, but I remember her face. I mean,
Yeah,
like I remember her, but I don't remember the character's name. Yeah.
Because of I think that mostly comes back to our man Homelander just
I think
Being Homelander.
I think we also have to speak about the origins of Homelander. I mean, I liked how they turned it around, all right. So first they're portraying Homelander as a very Superman,
Yeah.
Goku-esque figure who's a savior from another planet.
Yeah.
Have you seen the similarity between Superman and Goku?
Yeah.
They both are aliens who come from another planet in a spaceship and they land here, they find. So they are portraying Homelander as that. And then you figure out that it's Compound V and he was raised in a lab. So I think that says a lot about him. For someone who's not been loved as a baby, he craves love, he craves attention.
Yeah.
And that's what drives him. Like every decision he takes
Yeah.
is out of some misplaced sense of being unloved.
Yeah. Like, I think in the second season they go back to the doctor. Billy
Yeah.
goes to the doctor
Yeah.
that brought up Homelander and they ask him how Homelander was as a kid. And I think Homelander, like the doctor does mention that Homelander as a young child was a nice kid. And then something went wrong.
Yeah.
And I think everybody has an idea of what went wrong.
Yeah.
And we all know what went wrong.
Yeah. So for the character I was researching a lot of psychopaths.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you've seen Mindhunter, no?
Yeah.
So there is this whole psychopath template that the FBI came up with.
Yeah.
And those templates really fit into these characters.
Yeah.
Be it Homelander or Lex Luthor
Yeah.
or Klaus for that example from Vampire Diaries and Originals. So Klaus basically grew up with an abusive father,
Yeah.
a mother who was just so manipulative.
Yeah.
So see, if you grow up with such an environment and ऊपर से you have superpowers,
Yeah.
like things are not gonna go well for anyone involved.
Okay, so the basic idea behind boys is to tell people that listen, yeah, superheroes are cool,
Yeah.
but not so cool. Okay,
Yeah.
वो अच्छे हैं. हो जाएगा इधर.
Like, so were you one of those guys who, as a kid, you thought you're gonna grow up and get superpowers?
Yeah. Yeah.
Bro, this is so funny, I tell you. So when I was a teenager, no, I was a huge Wolverine fan.
Yeah.
Because Claws and Wolverine was something that used to play on the TV all the time.
Yeah.
Like I had easy access to it.
Yeah.
Back then we didn't have torrents. I don't know, maybe people had, but I didn't. I didn't have access to torrents. We used to like buy DVDs from the street for $20 and watch films. So Wolverine, as soon as he hits puberty, the claws come out. Like I genuinely believe I was gonna hit puberty, and I'm gonna have claws, and then I'm gonna get them like as a kid, no? Like I'm gonna get adamantium because it's much stronger.
Me, as a teenager, believed I'd hit puberty to get six-pack abs.
Did you grow up on Kabhi Khushi Kabhi Gham?
Probably.
I don't know.
Can you imagine a small, tinier version of it? Okay, I'm going to hit puberty and then into Hrithik Roshan.
Yeah, man, God. Oh, but that actually happened with me. As soon as I hit puberty, like I had all these hormones, and then what I did with it was I used to like lock up my room, tell my mom and dad I used to study and do push-ups and do crunches. And by the time I was in 8th or 9th, I had a six-pack. See, some dreams do come true. Check my Insta too.
I'm going to leave his Insta handle in the description down below.
Yeah. So
And my Insta handle as well.
Yeah.
You can see his photographs too.
yeah. So follow both of us on Instagram. What's your least favorite character in the show?
Huey.
Huey?
Yeah. Because I think it becomes redundant after the first.
Yeah, man, definitely.
Like, I really thought about it. I liked Huey in the first season.
I loved Huey in the first season.
Second season, you take him out of the story and there's no point.
Yeah. I think he had the most definitive character arc in season 1.
And
But-
the most useless arc in season 2. Like,
Yeah.
like you take him out of the equation and like half your problems are solved.
Yeah. You know, The Boys is also commentary on the whole star system.
Yeah.
How, especially Starlight. I don't know if that's intentional.
The pun was not intentional.
I don't know. She's also got some. What are her powers exactly? She can
Lights.
like she can light up shit. Like sparks. She's sparky.
She can control electricity.
Okay. So her whole arc of this teenager being found and given her break, and her coming into terms with stardom and everything.
And how she deals with the whole
Yeah.
shebang.
Yeah. It's like a Black Mirror episode on stardom.
Yeah. Like if Black Mirror made an episode on how a Christian girl becomes famous overnight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's also a commentary on Christianism.
Yeah. It is.
Christianity. Like, I hadn't thought about it very deeply until now. Because I remember Homelander doing this and being the Messiah and like floating through air.
Yeah.
You know, all that imagery is a throwback to the Bible and whatnot.
I mean, like, there's so many Christian references.
Mhm.
There's so much of Christian imagery is invited into the show. Like it's quite amazing. Like that, the entire first season, there are so many times that second season, the church,
Mm-hmm.
for example,
Yeah.
right? The idea behind the church and all of it. What do you think of the second season finale?
And second season's finale is a setup for things just going out of proportion.
Like,
I don't think anyone is gonna be able to handle what's coming.
yeah,
I think we are all in for a crazy ride. I mean, with Homelander not going through a major tragedy.
yeah.
If he was that character, now imagine him going through a major tragedy. Is this gonna?
Yeah, I mean, nobody is ready for our lady senator.
Yeah.
Nobody is ready for her
Yeah,
either. Like,
yeah.
I'm scared of what she'll do. Like, I that scene where she's sitting in the courthouse
Yeah.
and very nonchalantly she's blowing her heads.
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy. And also this whole process of trying to be part of the seven.
Yeah,
And doesn't matter how powerful you are,
Yeah.
you always want to be, you want to belong. And A-Train's whole arc, A-Train is a commentary on athletes.
yeah,
So A-Train has these shoes, and he's very concerned about the selling of those shoes.
Yeah.
Like how Jordans or
Yeah.
Kobe's or Curry's. It's also, and this guy doing steroids
Yeah.
so that his performance levels are up. Steroids is basically injecting more compound V.
Yeah.
I think the whole, the first scene
Yeah.
and the whole thing started because of that.
yeah,
This guy was injecting too much and
yeah. Like, talking about A-Train's arc. Talk about Deep's arc.
yeah, man.
मतलब सस्ता Aquaman.
Yeah. No, that's why people didn't take Aquaman seriously, dude.
Yeah.
Like, that is exactly the reason why you needed someone like Jason Momoa
Yeah,
to play Aquaman and show this guy is not a pussy.
Yeah.
This guy is not someone who can just talk to fish.
yeah. There's
Like-
more to his.
Yeah, this guy is a fucking badass.
Yeah.
I think Snyder just.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
Like him drinking vodka and jumping into the ocean.
Yeah, man.
That
God.
was- that
Such
was-
imagery, dude. Such imagery. See, that's what I love about Snyder.
And then you have Deep.
Yeah. Deep, like he's got gills and whatnot. And
I got a dolphin to help me.
yeah, bro, that scene, man, where Billy the Butcher crashes into the whale.
Yeah. Oh.
Bro, my god, what is that next level violence? Like, you remember all that intestines
Yeah.
falling
I mean,
apart.
Okay. People who are watching this video and haven't seen The Boys but are grossed out by literally any amount of blood, please avoid The Boys.
Yeah.
Just avoid it. I mean, honestly, like the amount of blood in the show
Yeah.
is outstanding. Like,
Yeah.
I don't even know where they got that much
Yeah.
blood from.
Yeah. It is that proper R-rated
Yeah.
superhero. I mean, there was Deadpool and all that.
Yeah, but Deadpool is like you get humor in it.
Yeah, Deadpool is funny, bro, and the boys, also makes you introspect.
Yeah.
Like, it makes you understand a lot of things about your own life
Yeah.
and your own, I don't know, trust with power and why people seek power and a lot of other things as well.
Yeah.
And Deep trying to save the day with that whale, and Billy the Butcher is like, you Deep, I'm gonna crash into that whale. What was your favorite moment from season 1 and season 2?
Favorite moment, Huey trying to save A-Train,
Mm-hmm.
even though at the beginning of the
Mhm.
season, A-Train kind of wrecked him.
Mm-hmm.
But if his character arc going from being wrecked by A-Train to trying to save his life,
Mm-hmm.
that absolute beauty.
Mm-hmm.
And I think my favorite moment in the second season is where Homelander's son just kills Stormfront and by mistake kills his
Own mother. Yeah.
Like that scene was like that was the first time I think Homelander's son understands what collateral is.
Yeah.
Like with his own eyes, pun intended.
Bro, do you think they're kind of portraying this Homelander origin story for Homelander to witness it?
Maybe.
But through his son.
Yeah, maybe.
Like now that, see, Homelander's son, all his life, had one mother.
Yeah.
Like, his mother was the only thing
Yeah.
that gave any meaning to his life.
Yeah.
He grew up without friends, without a father figure.
Yeah.
And the closest he got to a father figure was this douchebag who flies in and pushes him off the cliff,
Yeah.
off the roof,
Yeah.
and tries to, I don't know, badger him into being a superhero.
Yeah.
Now that that figure is gone, his mother is gone, I'm just imagining how dark it will get for that character.
I mean, yes, it can get really dark. But then there is that caveat of Billy the Butcher just being there for him, and Billy understanding that sometimes you have to break the circle. Like Billy was bullied throughout his childhood, and then he saw his younger brother kill himself, which they like it wasn't explicitly said, but it was implied that he killed himself. And then he sees Homelander's son. Basically, Homelander's son's mother was his wife at one point. So he's going to love him as much as he loved his wife. Right. So he understands what bullying does to people. Maybe what I'm imagining for third season is Billy kind of molding his son, molding Homelander's son to do more stuff for the good.
You think Homelander's son is gonna be the redemption of Homelander?
Could be. But I don't see any redemption qualities in Homelander. But with the other characters, right, you kind of see some sort of redemption quality. Like with, Screw Stormfront, with Queen Maeve, you do see the redemption arc.
I never felt Queen Maeve. I think Queen Maeve only did the thing she did because she was with Homelander, because she was in a toxic relationship with him. And when you are in a toxic relationship, you tend to do stuff that you regret for the rest of your life. That is basically what Queen Maeve did. And I don't know, man, like that moment in season 2 where Homelander was with that shapeshifter.
Yeah.
And bro, that was the most, I don't know, like soul stirring, like gut wrenching, I don't know, commentary on narcissism ever, man. Like to be ever on celluloid or any form of content, I think that just shook you up.
Okay, let's wrap this up and I just want to ask you 2 questions. One, why would you recommend The Boys? And secondly, if you're recommending this show, do you think people are going to digest it?
I would recommend The Boys because it's a no holds barred and I don't know, an all out deep visceral take on the mythology of superheroes. I mean, superheroes was something we saw. I mean, comic book superheroes. Of course, we've seen like gods and people like that. Let's not consider them superheroes. Because I think people are gonna want to throw stones at us if I call a god a superhero, especially Indian gods. But
I'm going to cut that part.
so, like, I think it started in the 40s.
Yeah.
Late
30s.
Yeah. And with any form of art, like consider comics and superheroes. I think there is always that defining step that kind of sets apart everything. It is like a giant leap in storytelling. Boys is that to me. It's a giant leap in the storytelling of superheroes.
Yeah.
And what was the second question?
Why would people digest the show like
Yeah,
this?
guys, if you want something that will just put a smile on your face, and it's a what we call time pass.
Yeah, this is not that.
This is not it, man. This is not it at all. Like, if you want something more from the content you watch, and if you have superhero fatigue, then Boys is the thing to watch. But it's not for everyone. It's not everyone's cup of tea at all. Like, I don't know. It's like Murakami.
Yeah, it's not for everybody.
It's not for everyone. Like 2 out of 10 people will like it,
Yeah.
and the other 8 will just pretend to like it because
Because 2 out of 10 people like it, and those 2 people are really important in this group circle.
yeah,
It's just
and they just want to pretend to be but it's not for everyone.
It's not for everybody. It's not for people who enjoy MCU,
Yeah.
like who started getting into superheroes when the Marvel Cinematic Universe started.
Yeah.
This is Boys is for people who are hardcore superhero fans.
Yeah.
Like hardcore, like they've gone and read all the comics in and out.
Yeah, and also like do some reading on Garth Ennis,
Yeah.
who's the writer of all these characters. So Garth Ennis basically comes up with these wacky, dark takes on all kinds of mythology.
Yeah.
He's done that with Christianity with The Preacher, and he's done that with superheroes with The Boys. Same question, you.
Like, why would I recommend watching The Boys? I would recommend watching The Boys because of the sheer brilliant storytelling. The sheer brilliance of storytelling.
And the balls it has.
The Boys it has. Like, I don't think any other show could have pulled it off. I don't think any other comic book series would have pulled it off like The Boys did.
Yeah.
And I think that is the only reason why people should watch it.
Yeah.
Will people be able to digest it? No.
Yeah.
It's not everybody's cup of tea.
Yeah, and also like we were discussing it the other day, it is a proof of concept.
Yeah. Like,
And for a lot of other things, even for Zack Snyder's Justice League,
I think The Boys worked in Zack Snyder's Justice League's favor.
Yeah, it
because it allowed Zack Snyder's Justice League to be made.
yeah,
Like when something as grounded and as bloody as The
Yeah.
Boys can get approved
yeah,
2 years in a row
yeah,
by viewers, then Zack Snyder's Justice League is a very light-hearted film.
it is
Like, I
compared.
mean, in comparison to Zack Snyder's Justice League, when you compare Zack Snyder's Justice League and The Boys, you realize that Zack Snyder's Justice League looks like Marvel Cinematic Universe.
It does. In comparison, yeah,
Like, on its own, you know how dark it is, but then the tones, the color tones on The Boys, despite being muted, are so dark. Like, even the lighting on it is so dark. Like, this is very bright for The Boys. This video lighting is too bright for The Boys. They will probably not have that.
yeah. So
Okay. Please like, share, subscribe to my channel with Snehat Gowda in this video.
Yeah.
And
do all that.
yeah. And I'm going to link his Instagram handle down in the description below. And see you in the next one.